Hey, Rich,
Hey, Michael.
and welcome everybody to BitPunch Radio episode 036. Rich, tonight we are going to be talking about Hawkeye. We're going to talk about Inscryption. We've wrapped that
Mm.
game up. We are going to talk about Halo Infinite. Man, I've got a lot of thoughts about Halo.
Ooh,
And
okay.
we were going to cover Sandman, but I think actually we're going to not cover Sandman because we didn't finish it. So
By you mean me?
we're gonna I think we're going to hold off and pick back up on the whole comic streaming stuff uh next year. So this episode is going live on the 17th. We were recording it on the 15th. Hawkeye just dropped. I am caught up. Are you caught up?
With the latest episode from today?
Yes.
No,
Shit.
I didn't watch
Man.
that one.
Man, some stuff happened that I would not.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've had a busy day. I've not been able to watch it yet today.
Yeah, so then looks like I have not watched Wheel of Time. You got that on there. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to cover. But let's start with you. What have you been up to? And yes, I'm interested to talk about Halo 2. Thanks for joining
Yes.
us, Scott. Wait, hey,
um,
what are you first off, what are you drinking tonight?
what am I drinking? I am drinking some Woodford Reserve double oaked. So they put it in a barrel and then they take it out and they put it in another barrel. And they call it double oaked.
Yeah, and they charge you $50 more for that, right?
It, yeah, it's $10 more a bottle. It's a $50 bottle of whiskey. So
Gotcha.
that's what we're doing here.
You're mixing it with what?
I decided I wanted to. I like old fashions. Big old fashions guy.
Mm-hmm.
Never made them at home though. But like if I go out and I'm gonna eat, meet me like a steak or something,
Mm-hmm.
like a real Midwesterner. You know, I want me some whiskey. So I'll order an old fashioned. And I told my wife, it's like, I should buy the shit to make
Yeah.
my own old fashions at home. And I've been making old fashions here for like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
so it's been great.
Got
Yeah.
any insider secrets to your old fashioned? Anything unique you do?
Man, you gotta get the I think it's called Angostura
Mm-hmm.
bitters,
Yep.
the specific bitters you gotta
Yep.
get. It's a little yellow cap. Um, I'm just using so an old fashioned is bitters,
Mm-hmm.
sugar, and whiskey is kind of the traditional kind of way to make it.
Yeah.
Some people will add water or like soda water, or a lot of like places that you go, like bars will add like citrus or some sort of orange peel or
Mm-hmm.
lemon peel type of deal. I ain't got no time for that. Um, you can get flavored bitters, so I did buy like some peach bitters. Um,
Do you notice that a lot though? Like, is it a
yeah. Like I feel like once you get used to drinking whiskey, kind of not quite neat or straight,
mm-hmm.
you do start to pick up on some of the more nuanced flavors that are happening in whiskey, other than that burns. you know.
Right? Yeah.
If you don't drink it very often, So yeah, I've been drinking some old fashions. Yeah,
My neighbor gave me so he made some cherries and put like bourbon and stuff in them. And I've
mm,
had this like mason jar bottle of maraschino cherries for like 2 years now. Am I
mm.
safe to continue to consume those? I know they are sitting in whiskey, but have they like made it past their prime?
Yeah, it's good. It's
That's what
good.
I thought. Yeah,
Yeah,
just go with it. I mean,
yeah,
I'm not ultra
yeah. It's
sick,
totally
so
good.
yeah. All right, man. Well, I'm having a Sam Smith, the oatmeal stout that I've been drinking on our Inscryption streams that you always make fun of me for. It's
Yeah, oatmeal and beer is not.
got the gold
Although
foil.
I'm drinking this double oaked, and it makes me think of like breakfast. Like it
Mm,
kind of has this mapley kind of flavors.
mm,
So that's weird, I guess too. I don't
yeah,
know. We're
we're just enjoying our
drinking
breakfast at 8:48
breakfast,
p.m.
drinking it.
All right, what have you been up to?
Man, playing a lot of games.
Same here.
Not riding a lot of bikes. Y Town. Um, I beat Control. I beat Control
Mm,
Ultimate Edition. Beat that game. The main story of that game. Um, that might be one of my favorite kind of single player third person games I've ever played.
Whoa. Okay.
I can't readily think of anything off the top of my head that I like as much as that.
Like third person? Okay,
Yeah,
so
like a
let's
single player third person. Like some of those Splinter Cell games are really good.
mhm.
Um,
Third person, man.
you
So like
know,
Horizon's
more,
really good.
well, that's more of an action adventure. This is definitely more of a shooter kind of horror mystery game. It's just got such a unique vibe going on.
Sure.
It's very Remedy. Remedy, made that game. People who made Max Payne, Alan Wake.
Mhm.
It's much more toward Alan Wake than it is Max Payne. But it's very X-Files, very uh, weird supernatural stuff going on that I just really dug. Um, really well voice acted, really well written. Just a really strong game all around. I think the only knock I would have is the combat. You don't necessarily get all of the power ups through the story, so there are like abilities that you can miss. And I feel like if you tried to mainline it and you didn't explore and didn't find some of those abilities, it would be maybe a little less of an experience.
Mm.
And I think that's a lot of the complaints that I saw, as I was playing the game and looking back, at different reviews of that game from 2019, 2020, was that it never really changed a whole lot. Like it doesn't introduce a ton of different enemy types. It's got like 4 or 5 kind of basic enemy types, and that really doesn't change. They just kind of throw more at you.
Mhm.
Um,
They don't like palette
but it was
swap or anything?
no, but but if you have a decent amount of abilities, it is fun to kind of do that combat in that environment. Um, it I really liked it. I didn't get bored with it. The checkpointing is a little harsh. Um, Other than that, though, really, really, really strong game. Cannot wait to play the 2 DLCs.
Mm.
There's one that's actually Alan Wake based, and there's another one that kind of continues the story from the main game.
What do you mean? What does that mean that it's Alan Wake based?
The Control universe and the Alan Wake universe are one and the same.
Okay.
So if you remember Alan Wake has this typewriter, right?
Sure.
That he's
Yeah.
typing his novel on because he's a
Mhm.
novelist. That typewriter is referenced in Control. Control is all about these objects that have this different powers and different weird things going on with them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Like, do
yeah.
they
It's
ever say the words Alan and or Wake in the same sentence?
I can't remember, but they definitely reference the typewriter for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, yeah, for
Huh.
sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to
And it's
play this
hilarious.
game.
You need to play that game. Yeah, you need to go back and play that
How
game.
long did it
It's
take you?
really good. I would say somewhere around 12 to 14 hours.
Yeah, I'll have to fit that in at some point, but
Yeah, it's worth it. It definitely is worth it.
yeah.
Um, it tells a pretty good story, but it's just so well acted, and it's just weird. It's just a weird game.
Mhm.
Um, Maybe not as weird as Inscryption, but it's weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is the other game I beat this week, or we
y
beat this week.
right. Yeah, is it weird if
Man,
Inscryption ends up on my game of the year and I didn't touch it? I didn't buy it. I All I did was observe and give advice every now and then.
I mean, you played as. I mean, listen, I didn't do a whole lot. I just clicked buttons,
I
moved the
guess.
guy around. I mean, you
Yeah,
played it as much as I did.
that's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah,
not a lot of skill in what I was doing, really. Um, Man, what a weird game that
I
was.
know.
Just such a strange roller coaster that I don't know how long it took them to make that, but it almost feels like it was made over like a long period of time
Mhm.
where like they made part of it, like made a third of it and got bored, and then we're like, fuck it, let's make this other thing, and
Mhm.
then did that. It's like, we'll just put this after the first thing, and then kind of had to end it somehow.
Right.
And I think the third act of that game is pretty not great.
Mhm.
Um, the there's a it kind of goes sort of back to the first act a little bit, but not quite. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. There was no surprises really there.
Yeah, you're kind of just
Um,
like doing the thing that you've
you're just
already
doing the
done.
thing, and it's not as fun as the thing that we were doing before,
Right.
or you're doing in the first act. So, but then, you get to the end, it's just like, oh boy, yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's definitely one of the more unique
Yeah.
games and unique experiences I've ever had with a video game.
Yeah,
Uh,
I really liked it. There was just yeah, I definitely want to save the more in-depth conversation for the next episode, like kind of breaking down what that game is and how it meant to me. I kind of feel you, or I kind of feel your same sentiment with it, where uh, it does not live up to the first third of that game.
right, right.
The middle section I actually thought the middle section was funner than the end. And
I do too.
I don't think that's what I'm seeing. I think people are actually really enjoying that last section because it's so it's just like the first one, but I don't know, like it's nitpicky stuff.
Yeah, I
That
wish
I
I
wish
wish
we
there's
could
stuff we could say
I
because I
know.
mean, I honestly think that um because of the computer I'm playing on and the things I do with this computer kind of
It helped
uh
us.
it accelerated the end of that game in a way
Just such a
that
weird
I
thing.
that I don't think it would for a normal everyday person.
Right.
But it didn't make it any less funny
Oh
or
yeah, it was
weird.
just like holy shit. Like to watch the scale. Oh, it was so good. Yeah, I think that game has just enough moments to make me either laugh or just be so shocked at what it's showing me to keep you
Yep.
going. I think
Yeah.
if you told me there was another 10 hours, I probably would bail. But I think like it
Right.
being a sub 15-hour game, just there's just enough cool shit that they did with it that's like, man, that was so fucking rad. I had a
Yep.
great time with it. It drug. I think a lot of games do that though. They feel like they need to pad themselves out. But overall, I thought it was incredible. Like I really loved the mechanic of the cards. I thought that was really fun to play. I thought the characters that you meet were all pretty interesting. The outside the card game stuff was cool, although it did get a little repetitive. I did think that third section kind of lacked um it just felt it like I said, it just kind of felt padded and I was like we both were definitely like we're done. Like just get us through this like the FMV it wasn't really challenging, so you kind of just felt like you do still have to strategize a little bit, but we're also just kind of like just getting through it, you know. And I don't know. I We'll definitely talk more about that. I think that'll come up in our next episode, which is going to be very much like what we've enjoyed throughout the year. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
man, that was a hell of a game.
It was. It was. And I'm glad we decided to start it over
Yeah.
and stream the whole thing from beginning to
Yep.
end and really kind of experience that as a whole. Which I think you need to do
Hmm.
in order to appreciate it for sure.
Or if you don't want to buy it, we have like all dozen hours on YouTube, so just go
Oh
through and
yeah,
watch
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Full playthroughs up. Um, yeah, so beat 2 games this week. That's pretty good. Um, and then Halo launched last Thursday.
Hmm.
Yeah. So the campaign launched. The multiplayer's been out for right about a month. I think a month as of today. Um, so the campaign launched. We streamed kind of on launch day the first couple missions of that game. Uh, it's it's kind of surprising how good it is,
Okay.
honestly. Um, how much it feels like kind of Halo 3, Halo 2, how much of that they kind of were able to inject back into that. Um, in those the first 2 levels of that game are very Halo. They're inside, they're corridor,
Hmm.
very, very Halo. It's kind of classic Halo, and then you get to the open world, and things really change quite a bit. And I was a little skeptical, like right when I got outside and kind of got out into the open world of is this just gonna get boring? Like, because there are definitely some Halo levels that drag. Like you're just like, okay, I'm gonna turn down this corridor. There's gonna be some grunts. There's gonna be some jackals, and then elites, and we're gonna do the thing. You know, some of those levels can drag
Hmm.
in previous games, but this one just has they were able to kind of bottle up the like randomness of Breath of the Wild combat and like some Far Cry stuff of just like weird physics and like maneuverability and like the way the grappling hook totally changes that game. Like all the exploding barrels, all the weapons, like it's very liberal with weapons laying around everywhere, from rocket launchers to sniper rifles. Like it is not shy about just giving you those things and letting you just tear shit up.
Hmm.
Um, I'm really, really enjoying it. I was a little bit skeptical there toward the beginning, but as I got into it, it's just a bunch of these little. oh, I don't know of another way to describe them. Like these little Far Cry
Yeah,
outposts
it's Far
with
Cry.
Halo with Halo enemies,
Yeah,
and you go in there and you play a little Halo,
yeah.
and then but it's different. It's not just, oh, I'm gonna headshot all these grunts and kind of do this other thing. You've got this grappling hook that you can upgrade. You can upgrade your shield. You can upgrade the grappling hook to give it like a shock, so you
Hmm.
can use it to. And it's actually a combat tool. You can
Oh
use it
yeah.
to kind of take the jackal shields down, so you can shoot them. Um, you can give it that shock ability, so it'll like shock brutes and shock elites. You can pull fusion coils to yourself. You can hijack vehicles. I mean, just that changes it quite a bit. But just having like all the exploding fusion coils laying around, and there's all this weird like open world stuff that'll just happen. Like I had just 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 like weird like stuff you see like on social media with like Breath of the Wild, where like some guy grabs this thing and he does this weird physics thing and then shit's just blowing up everywhere.
Hmm.
Like I've had a couple of instances where like stuff has just happened like that.
Hmm.
Like I had an instance where a brute, like I think it was a brute, they like launched a grunt at me. And like he was like one of those kamikaze grunts that's like holding the plasma grenades, and they like threw him up there, and he's like, "What are you guys?" And he's like yelling, he's like, "No, not me," you know. And like the grunt dialogue is actually really hilarious.
Yeah, it's good.
Um, so there's
I
kind of that aspect to it.
I summoned a warhog on top of a soldier and watched him die in front of me. That was one of those open world jankiness that happened in
Yeah,
this game.
yeah, yeah. And then the grappling hook, there's all this exploration. I mean that I had heard kind of some of the preview stuff before it launched last week. People were like, it's not totally open world. It's not that big." And I'm
Mhm.
like, dude, this game is. I'm in here like Spider-Manning up like the sides of these cliffs and like
Yeah.
wreckage and stuff, and like places that you would never be in in another Halo game. Um,
I stumbled into an arcade cabinet.
I did too.
Yeah, and a
Yeah,
Halo-ass arcade cabinet, and I was
that was
just like,
weird.
what do I do with this?" It didn't seem
Yeah,
like much
so
of anything, but
I pretty quickly decided that I was gonna fully upgrade the grappling hook first, just min max that.
nope, not me.
And now, yeah, you
Mm-mm.
wouldn't.
Nope.
You did shield.
Absolutely, I suck hardcore at this game.
God, man, you always do health.
I fucking die so much in this game, though, like,
Uh,
an annoyingly amount. I'm really
I've
bad at
put
it.
I've put no points into anything else.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I do always go
but
health, but yeah.
you do always go health. But now I'm at the point where I think the cooldown, some of the upgrades to the grapple hook, like lower its cooldown. And now I'm to the point where I can just scale a sheer cliff. Like
Oh, that would be nice.
you grapple up, and like your momentum takes you up, and you fall a little bit, but you can shoot again, and then you fall a little bit, and you can shoot
Mm,
again. You just make your way up a whole cliff,
yeah, I want
and
that.
you can literally Spider-Man. Like if you
Mm,
jump off a really large cliff and kind of hit the face, you'll kind of swing, and then before you fall, you can hit it again, and you're literally just swinging like Spider-Man. It is bananas.
this just doesn't sound like a Halo game. you know?
No, but it's super fun.
Yeah.
It is super fun.
I'm really enjoying it. It does remind me a lot of Far Cry. Like it's almost to a point where it's like I kind of want to play Far Cry 6. I want to finish this game and then see what that game's like cuz I'm enjoying the open worldness of it, and I know it's like you go to these points where you see enemies or soldiers captured, and you kill all the enemies around them, let them go, and then it literally does the Far Cry thing where around the map it's like, okay, here's some interesting points that you should
Yep.
go
Yep.
visit.
Yep.
You
There's all
when
these
you're
different
collecting those
FOBs,
fobs.
forward
Yeah.
operating bases. Yep. You
Yep.
capture one of those, and then it lights up all the stuff you can go do.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that was a smart
And
choice on
the
their part.
the only thing I care about is those Spartan cores. Like, give me all the Spartan
Yep.
cores.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did, and then I put
I'm
them all on the grappling hook.
I find the audio logs or whatever, but it's telling a story that I'm just so distant from that I don't understand. Like,
Yeah, there is some. I mean, I've been just like roaming around. I just went back north, and
okay, okay.
I don't know what mission that is. I guess it'd be like the fourth mission, maybe. Like you
Mhm.
go to the south and you do the thing,
Yeah.
do some
I'm in
mission
the
there.
middle of the fourth mission.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't went to the excavation site yet. I've been running around the outside of it.
I just
Yeah.
finished that area, so we're not too far
Okay.
from each other.
Okay. Okay.
Um, man, I died a lot there. Like I'm telling you, it's just it's been a long time. I think during the stream I was trying to figure out when's the last first person shooter I played, and I think it was with you, and I think it was Apex. I've missed a lot of shooters just because I really
Wow.
wasn't
Yeah.
playing them. So I'm just trying to get my bearings back, but I can tell I'm getting a little better. Like I'll get to a point to where it's like, okay, I've got the sword. The sword is fucking the best.
Hmm.
If I could just play with a sword in BR, like I would be happy.
Yeah. BR for sure.
But
Yeah.
they
There's
force
a
a
lot
lot.
of good weapons in the game too.
See, I don't know if I agree with that because there's a lot. I do like the shotguns, but like
Yes.
some of those energy weapons, like the needler, seems like there's needlers everywhere, and then all the grunt bullshit pistols. And sometimes I go into an excursion, and it's probably my fault. But I'm like, I don't really have a good weapon, and there's a boss that disappears, and that's
Oh
why I'm
yeah.
dying a lot. Maybe I'm just not prepared. I'm just wondering kind of what you're doing, and I just like I'm not prepared for the encounter that I'm pushing myself through.
Yeah.
Um,
So I kind of found myself in the same position in the early game, where I was just like, I don't want needlers, I don't want plasma pistols,
no,
like those don't do enough
I want
punch.
the fun things.
And then I realized like you just need to be scanning all the time because all the weapon crates and all the ammo boxes, because there's ammo boxes, will pop up. And so I'll just kind of look around, be like, oh, there's a human ammo box over there. I'm gonna go refill my battle rifle or whatever,
Hmm.
um, or go find like a mauler or mangler, I think they're called now,
Yeah, that's
or
a
a
good one
stalker
too.
rifle. Mangler's good. Stalker rifle's good. Um, the plasma rifle can be pretty good. Um, the the skewer is actually pretty good for taking down like enemies and vehicles.
Hmm.
Um, but the battle rifle, commando, pistol,
Yep.
assault rifle, like those are all great. Obviously, sniper and rockets are great.
Hmm.
The shotgun is not. It's not a Halo shotgun to me, but it's not terrible.
Hmm.
Um, Usually, I'll give that to one of my Marines.
Mm.
Um, so
And
I've
see,
started like,
I don't pull them into
oh,
stuff.
you got to start doing that.
No,
Yeah,
man.
you got to
Again,
go to
because
the.
I'm bad at this game. So I'll be at the fob location, and I'll summon my warthog, and
Yep.
all the Marines are just like, let's fucking go.
Yep.
And dude, I swear I start driving, and I'm the worst fucking driver. I flip that thing, and everyone gets murdered and dies, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, that thing is has got the physics of like an old ass 80s Buick or something. I mean,
Yeah. The physics are wrong on the
they're
Warhawk for
they're
sure.
they're bad. Like
Yeah.
I cannot
It,
steadily drive that thing to
it's
a
like its
location.
gravity is messed up, like it floats in the air
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'll
dude.
usually like if I know I'm going into like a big mission, I'll get one of those Warhogs and I'll get a guy in the back and then a person in the passenger seat, and I'll try to have that person have like a shotgun
Mm,
because they have unlimited ammo, and so
right.
they just wreck. You just
And
drive
and they
around in
do
circles.
work. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
the the location you're about to go to, I did bring a couple soldiers with me, and yeah, I mean the whole time I didn't open the gate or something, so they kind of just sat outside the gate, but I heard them the whole time just shooting, taking people out, and it kind of
Yeah.
surprised me that they were actually doing something and weren't just, you know, one of those NPCs that are look like they're helping. I think Outriders
Yeah.
had a real bad section of that. I can't believe I'm bringing up fucking Outriders, but there was like a D-Day style level, and I remember
Oh
looking
no.
around, and I was just like, "Where the fuck is everybody?" And it was just
Yeah.
like they were
Oh,
so
I
far
remember.
back,
Yeah,
but
that's early on. I remember that. Yeah.
yeah, just,
Yeah.
uh,
So yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's the game part of it is really good. The story is kind of almost non-existent at this point. We'll
yeah.
see where it goes from here.
Weapon is whatever. Like I don't.
Yeah, knock off Cortana. Yeah,
Yeah, I bet. See, I don't. I just don't know enough of the lore to even understand or have any
like
sort of any sort of
some of
connection
the
to Cortana. So to me, it's just like she's just fucking Cortana, except she's got a little
yeah,
bit like she's trying to
she's
humanize.
she's a little younger in her personality than Cortana.
Yeah,
I feel like she kind of comes across as like a teenager almost.
right.
Um,
She can get it done, but she's like, Chief,
right,
I'm going to need 5 minutes, and then those 5 minutes, you got to take out wave after wave of guys.
right,
And
right. Yeah,
have you
I
fought
mean,
the flying enemies yet?
no.
So that's the mission that you're about to go do. So spoiler
Okay,
alert, there are flying enemies. If you didn't know that this is a Halo
great.
game, there's going to be flying enemies and they fucking suck. And so does everything in there. And yeah, I will say when you go out of the open world into the like, there are sections where it's like, okay, I'm in a level, I'm loading into a level and I get through the level and back out. Um, I'm not the biggest fan of those environments. I think that I don't, and again, I think like I've played a couple Halos, but man, like the just like those first couple sections, it just seems like all the environments are kind of the same. I'm hoping they get varied up. I'm way more interested in the open world than I am like going through the actual levels. So I just want to keep doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
man,
there's I mean there are some interesting stuff in some of those audio logs.
hmm
They reference like Blue Team and some Halo stuff, some
hmm
Halo story stuff. But so far it's been super light. Um, nothing.
so like the people that you come across, and I won't really get into anything like that, but are you noticing like, hey, are they in the story at all, or are they all like new just to try to create?
They so far like a couple of people that you find
Mhm.
are if they're in the story before they're pretty minor.
Okay,
Nobody that jumped out to me.
sure.
No. Um, so I'm playing it on PC. You are too.
Jumping back and forth. So I'm playing it
Okay.
on Xbox,
Yeah.
and it runs really great on Xbox One,
Yeah.
which surprised me. I am playing on my TV. Sorry, I'm playing on my 4K TV, so it is doing some upscaling, and it looks
Mm-hmm.
really good. But it does the weird thing where weapons hair. Um, I took a screenshot. I don't know. I posted this when Cyberpunk came out. I was really shocked at how Cyberpunk looked. Like how bad it looked on the Xbox One, where the hair looks super pixelated, almost
Yeah.
like almost like my underarm there. Like
Yep.
that's what weapons hair looks like.
Oh, weird.
Not as bad, but you can definitely tell like there's not. I don't know. It's weird. But I know it's just trying to. It's such an old console. I mean, what is that now? Six plus years that thing's been out.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah. I think
2015?
so. 2015, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 6 years
Yeah.
now that thing's been out, and it's just trying to push 4K stuff now, and it's doing the
Right.
upresing. It's just, you know, it's fine. It runs really good actually. I've seen some people, like mutual friends of ours, that said that they've had several hard crashes, and I really haven't. It's been pretty smooth for me so far.
Yeah, I've had one. I've had one hard crash on PC. Um, the open world sections are not very well optimized. They run okay.
Hmm.
Um, but they definitely have some work to do there. Uh, as far as that goes, I'm playing 1440p. I'm not playing 4K. I have everything set to kind of high-ish instead of ultra. Ultra was really tanking the frame rate quite a bit in certain areas. So it kind of dropped it down to high. It pegs the hell out of my PC though, or my CPU. It is very, very CPU heavy for whatever reason.
Mm.
Um, so I found that kind of interesting. Uh, but hopefully they'll kind of optimize some of that stuff as they go. Um, but I mean, other than that, that's really the only big issues that I had. A couple like that one hard crash, and just every now and again the frame rate will kind of take a dip.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I actually did something kind of interesting this after I kind of got to the open world and kind of explored it. I went back and watched that launch trailer. Or not launch
Oh yeah, the
the
20.
reveal the
Hmm.
reveal trailer from way back when, from a long time ago.
Was that at
Not
the
not the
Game
one
Awards?
not the one everybody shit on.
Oh,
Not that
okay.
can not the campaign reveal like a year ago that caused them to delay it. Like the initial like reveal that it existed.
And it looked
Um,
just trying to think, like the trailer that you watched, was it just just was like an open world segment of him just running around shooting, right?
no, it
Okay.
was it just showed like his helmet.
Oh,
It starts off and it shows like all this like open world biome and it's all pretty and it's got all these big like weird elephant alien animals and like all this different stuff and then there's like a desert
a
and then all of a
desert.
sudden it like pans out and it shows Chief's helmet and then it's like oh Halo Infinite and then it shows him kind of riding a warhog kind of through the open world
Yeah.
and it does look a lot different like you can tell they whatever plans they had for that game they scaled them back a lot
Oh man.
for sure yeah
Yeah, so
oh
it
boy
seems like there's like maybe three major sections of the map.
yeah that's what I saw yeah
So I would imagine we are probably close to halfway done with that game. Uh,
really you think so I don't know
I've heard it's short.
really
Yeah. Um,
and
but overall, I'm really enjoying it. I think just the way that that game feels is so fucking good, man. I just
yeah
the shooting is great. The whole like there's a ghost and I'm going to use my grapple hook and I'm taking that fucking ghost. Man, it's great. But
yep
then they can do it right back to you and that part kind of sucks, but
did you find any skulls yet
nope.
I found one
Oh, really?
yeah
I just
yeah
I just want all the Spartan cores. I don't care about
it took me
anything else,
forever to
but
get it I probably spent 25 minutes to a half an hour getting it
is it would when like a weird side of a mountain or something?
it was hidden on top of one of the buildings at the beginning of the
Mm.
game
Oh,
and there's
really?
no easy way to get up there yeah I had to do like some Spider-Man ass like acrobatics to get up there with the
Oh
grapple
my
hook
gosh.
yeah
Mm.
there's a lot of Easter eggs in that game um, man I should have been more prepared I could have sent you this I took a screenshot of one of the Easter eggs that I found um,
Like a Halo Easter egg or like a Microsoft Easter egg?
both
Oh, really?
so that 2019 campaign trailer you remember Craig the brute that looked like he was super they had that screenshot of the brute from that original 2019 trailer that
I'd
everybody
have to
shit
go
on
back and watch this because I
yeah
really don't remember.
it's just this really terrible screenshot from that trailer or from that gameplay reveal they did last year and like it's just like really low poly and it looks like shit and Bungie or not Bungie 343 named him Craig and on top of this building next to where the skull is there is literally like a concert poster of Craig and he's like this fucking superstar music guy and like he's got like there's all this paraphernalia up there there's like this little shrine to him up there Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that's all I've been playing as far as games go. I'm kind of trying to decide what I want to play next after Halo, and maybe what we're gonna play next since we're finished up with Inscryption.
I
Probably going
know.
into the
What
new
are we
year.
gonna play next? I will 100% play Halo with you when that comes out. When
Yeah,
that becomes an
yeah, for sure.
option, I would gladly go through this game again. Especially
Yeah,
knowing that you can beat it in like 15 to 20 hours or something. So,
right, right. Yeah, I do. I've got a couple games in mind. We got Village, Resident Evil Village.
oh yeah, we got to play through
We still
that.
need to play through. I bought that during the Steam sale. Um, there's a couple other games that I had downloaded that I thought would be fun to play through. Maybe. Uh,
Maybe we need to tackle the game of the year, man.
yeah, yeah,
I don't,
maybe we'll see.
get divorced.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I still want to play XCOM. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff out there. So, and there's a lot
yeah,
of stuff coming.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Okay, so you have not watched any more of the Wheel of Time?
I will, and I know I keep saying this, and I know I've said this about The Witcher, and I restarted The Witcher, and I've made it about 30 minutes into it and then had to bail, and I have not picked it back up because I started reading Sandman, and then we're going to bail on that. So now I'm going to pick back up on The Witcher and finally finish that movie. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just been a lot of back and forth on that. So nope, no more. Is it getting better?
I still think it's okay.
Okay.
So Avid, yeah, the grunt. Okay, yeah, Whitetown is talking about the birthday party skull in Halo. I have not found the birthday party skull yet. Where when you shoot the grunts,
Confetti.
they yell hooray and like confetti goes. But that is in there. That
Oh, it
is in
is?
there.
Okay.
I have not found it yet.
I've been collecting
Actually,
like multiplayer stuff.
yeah, there's multiplayer armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember which skull it was I found. I need to go back and look. Um, but yeah, Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time is. I think it's getting better. But regular listener Wiggum, who has finished Wheel of Time,
Hmm.
is very angry. He is very jaded about everything.
About the show?
About everything to do with this show.
Oh, wow.
Um, I love the guy to death. I think he's maybe taking it a little too seriously.
Mm,
I think he needs to. Uh, I mean, he's allowed to not like what he doesn't like.
sure.
But I think seeing how bad some of these adaptations can be, I personally don't think this one's that bad.
Hmm.
But I've not read the books. Um, but I have been kind of keeping up with what Brandon Sanderson is saying about it.
Where?
Who
Where is he talking about that at?
he's done some blog posts and
Okay.
he's done some interviews. And so he's a producer on the show. He said he basically gets to read the scripts and give feedback. And there's some things that he doesn't like that they didn't change that he told them they should change.
Oh,
And he
wow.
said there's some things that he did ask them to change and they changed them.
Okay.
Um, and there's a few things that he asked them to change. They didn't change. He got mad at them. And then once he saw the show, he was like, "Yep, you guys were right. That actually turned out
Wow.
like
Okay.
yeah, it's not what the books are supposed to be, and it's maybe changing the way characters are portrayed from the books. Um, but it worked.
How
Like
many times do you think he's passed them his misborn plot outline? Like, hey, I've got
that's
this
get, that's getting made into a TV show
misborn?
or a movie, right? I think that already is on the table, right? I thought that got picked
Shit.
up.
What? A
I'm pretty sure
movie?
that got picked up. TV show, something.
Uh, I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling. Sorry here.
I thought one of his properties got picked up.
Uh, I don't
Maybe not. Maybe not.
know.
Maybe I'm wrong. Um,
Be pretty cool if it did, though.
yeah, I feel like I've heard him say that in the past, or allude to the fact.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
So yeah, I mean, I'm caught up on it. It's interesting. I
Hmm.
mean, it's definitely not following the books. It's definitely kind of going ahead in the books and pulling stuff forward. It's kind of changing some of the characterizations of the characters, changing the way some of the systems worked. Um, but I think it's okay. I think it's a fine TV show thus far. And kind of listening to Brandon Sanderson and having him talking about it and being like, yeah, like it was really hard the first time I sat down and read those scripts and like came to the realization this is not going to be a beat for beat adaptation, right? Like we're not going to sit down and go chapter 1.
Right.
Okay, how do we make this chapter, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 2, how do we do this chapter, right? This is just not what it is. And he's like, once I kind of came to terms with that, I I could kind of change my own headcanon,
Sure.
and he
Shit's got to be
kind of
hard, though. You know.
yeah, yeah, I'm sure it is. And he basically said, in the end, if they can get to the feel of it and kind of the overarching plot lines and points of it, and if it's get across what Wheel of Time is like, from a feel perspective
Hmm.
and from a kind of narrative perspective, he'll kind of be happy. But he said he's loved these episodes that he's watched.
Mm.
Obviously, he's got some qualms with them, um, for sure. But I think it's just fine so far. Well, essentially, I think it's very early in a very long series. You got to kind of give them some slack. Let's see where they go. It may end up completely terrible, but
They
that's
already
kind of
greenlit like a series of movies and a second season. So I mean,
yeah,
they seem like they're all in, and they've
yeah.
got
I
a
think it's
unlimited money. I mean,
yeah. I think I saw it's the most watched thing right now. Like it's higher than Hawkeye. It's
wow.
it's doing very well, and that was one of the notes that Brandon Sanderson said. He's like, listen, if all the Wheel of Time nerds got together and got to decide what was in this show, nobody watched this show. Like
Yeah.
he's like, there's like two properties that can do that: Harry Potter and like maybe one other one. Like there's enough people that read Harry Potter that like those like that first movie was like bang bang
Oh
bang bang
yeah.
bang like every single part of that book.
Yeah, the
And the
first Walking Dead episode was a shot for shot, frame by frame of
yeah,
that first comic.
yep,
And then it
yep,
kind of goes off in its own direction, but yeah.
right, right, right. So I mean, and he kind of brought up like people don't remember now, but when Fellowship of the Ring came out, Lord of the Rings, the people that like very were very passionate about those books hated that fucking movie because it removes whole characters, it
Hmm.
removes whole plot lines, and does all this crap. And everybody back then said it was junk. People hated Viggo Mortensen, hated his guts
Wow.
because he was this like mangy ragtag ranger guy, and he wasn't the king, and all this stuff wasn't
Sure.
kingly enough. And he's like, yeah, look at how that turned out. And and he Sanderson kind of said, like you have on one side of the spectrum, you have like beat for beat adaptation, and then you have like The Shining over here, which is as far away from that as you can get. Like it's nothing like the source material.
Hmm.
Lord of the Rings is in the middle, right?
Hmm.
And Wheel of Time is like one sidestep away from that.
Hmm.
So I'm I was kind of cooling on it a little bit until I kind of listened to him talk about it and kind of read what he had to say about it, and I was like, okay, if this guy's okay with it, I can be okay with it for now. He knows better than just about anybody at this point what that is. So let's give him a chance and see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, I love Saga. I love Why the Last Man. I the stuff that I've read that they've made into other, movies or TV shows or whatever, like that stuff's great. And I do have to always distance myself from that. Like, why are they changing? Well, they're changing it because why do the same thing that is already out there? Like, you can read the book how it is. We're gonna tell our own story, and just like what you were saying with the Wheel of Time, I struggle with that sometimes. But then once you accept it and you're kind of open minded about it, like it it can be good. But
Yeah.
I've never read the Wheel of Time. It's making me want to read it. Just so, like when we were bringing up, they might flash a scription on a blade, and there's probably a bunch of lore behind that, and it
Oh
makes you
yeah.
want to learn that stuff. So maybe when the season wraps and I get done with it, I will pick up on that book and read it. Gosh, I just got to get through Oathbringer first, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there. So,
All
uh,
right. Tell me what you think about Hawkeye. You're a little farther. You're one episode farther than I am.
so I have just I want to be so critical, but at the end, it's just like I've watched, what is this, the fourth one now of these series, that they don't have the budget. The the stories that they're telling is just a little more lighthearted. Um, so the first episode has a glaring flaw in it, and the internet picked up on it super fast. And it
Uh-oh.
was an edit that was fucked up. So there's a part where Kate, she's like holding this object, and what happens is the next shot is her holding it, and then it explodes. Somebody shoots it with a gun or something. So she's like, instead of shooting her, they shoot at the object in her hand, and she's like, has that dumb moment of like, fuck, I gotta run, right? I noticed it watching it, but they don't get it right. It's almost like they did it as good as like a amateur TikTok person would be putting one of those together. Her body just shifts just ever so slightly, where it's like, "Huh, that was a bad cut. That was a flaw."
Mm.
And
Mm.
it kind of shocked me that they allowed that. They didn't go back and like try to fix it in post, or like, "Hey, let's reshoot that. That's kind of fucked up there a little bit." No, they like shipped it, and I just think that that's what it is. Um, the end of what episode did I just watch? 4 or 5? How many episodes you into it?
I think I'm in 4, right?
Okay, so I'm
4.
5. Um, I think the ending of episode 4 was pretty interesting. It was kind of like, okay, we've been leading up to this moment. There
Yep.
is a reveal in 5 that I'm like really fucking excited about.
Okay.
And it was like it came out of nowhere. I was not expecting this, because I thought I already knew what I was in for. Like I'm just now waiting for like Elaine from Seinfeld to like make her appearance. Because at some point she's gonna be in it. Like she's the kind of mastermind behind putting this suicide squad of people
Right, right.
together. Um, but she's not in it yet. But someone else shows up, and it kind of shocked me. I wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Man, I really wish you would have watched it, because I don't want to say, but it's one of those very much last 4 seconds. You just see this reveal, and it's just like, oh shit, like that.
Yeah.
That opens up a ton of possibilities with where they can go with this. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. They are low. They seem low budget. They seem poorly acted. I don't think it's telling something crazy, or like I'm at the edge of my seat.
Poorly acted, who don't you like?
I don't think Kate's acting all that well, and I mean, I like her, but I just maybe, and I don't know the source material, and I know she's like a younger person. She's like Spider-Man right now. The first Spider-Man movie is all about him trying to be an Avenger. And now she's
Okay.
kind of doing the same thing. She's like, I want to be on the Avengers team, and Hawkeye is just like, no, like he's just doing his thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, it just is coming off a little cheap, but I overall I think it's fine. And now I'm like, I really want to see what they're going to do and see how this how is this going to affect everything moving forward? Because again, it's a pretty cool twist that they kind of throw there towards the end. How are you feeling about it?
Um, it's my favorite Marvel thing outside of the
Fuck
movies.
you. God. Okay. Great.
Um,
I'm glad you're enjoying
I
it.
mean, it's better than some of the movies, honestly.
Okay.
Um, I don't know what it is, but I love this show. I
Really?
really like it. I think Kate is great.
What? Okay.
I think her whole kind of shtick is really good because she comes across as like this. She's this rich kid, right? She's this rich
Hmm.
kid that got to go to archery school and fucking taekwondo, and she totally comes across as this like has no idea what the real world is like. Like
Right.
Hawkeye is just like, guys, fucking girl. You know
Yeah.
what I think it is? It's the dad energy. The dad energy is really high. I've got two girls, and like it's Christmas, there's like this home alone kind of vibe to it. Like he's trying to get home, but these fucking
Yep.
kids keep getting in his way.
Yep.
Um, I I really, really, really like it. Um, I, I just really do. I felt like the stuff with him and his kids is coming across really well. The
Hmm.
stuff with Kate is coming across really well. Um, that like sleazy stepdad guy is like great. Like he's super
Oh
sleazy, super
shit.
douchey.
Jack, is that his name?
Jack, yeah, just
Yeah.
super douche.
Oh yeah. Super
Um,
douche.
I mean, just everything about that show I love, and
Wow.
I think
Okay.
it's really good. It's
Wow.
better than Loki, better than Winter Soldier, better. I didn't watch Scarlet Witch's show.
See, that one was still my
Um,
favorite, just because it was so
yeah,
bonkers. But
yeah,
and I
yeah,
thought
and I
Loki was poorly acted. Like
I liked
I
Loki.
I did too. I just think that I don't know, and maybe what I mean by poorly acted, it's just I don't know if it's just some of the dialogue or what, but Kate's
Yeah,
fine.
man. There's the dog and the pizza and like
Yeah.
all the like. It's just very. Maybe that's why I like it. Like, uh, Captain America: Winter Soldier was trying to take its what the hell was the name of that show? Is that what it was called?
Uh, Wait, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
That show just took itself way too
Oh
seriously,
yeah.
like way too seriously, and I think that's maybe why part of the reason why I like this one is because it's just not taking itself seriously at all.
Hmm.
It's much more lighthearted, uh, much more like just trying to be fun and trying to be goofy. The LARPing sections I thought were pretty
Yeah.
hilarious. Um, yeah, I
I
mean, I
like
mean
that
the
they
whole
keep
thing is
coming back too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and the whole thing is pretty silly. Like if you're gonna sit down and like you know put your Marvel hat on and go, oh, well, this isn't as cool as something else, or like why are they trying to do this, or why
hmm.
is he trying to do that? He's just wasting his time. Like, nah, just turn your brain off,
Right.
have some fun with Hawkeye, who I think is I up until this point I didn't have really any like super attachment to Hawkeye. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in now.
Yeah, they the whole Ronin thing, that was introduced in Endgame, and I don't remember, I could be wrong, but they never once said the word Ronin. And so now in this show, they're kind of slinging it around left and right, and I just
Yeah,
think that that's cool that they're like leaning really into that part of it. I think that's cool.
right.
I think it's fine. I That's how I felt about all the shows so far. Like they're fine, they're fun. I
Yeah.
don't hate life for watching them. I hope that they mean something. I hope that they're not treated like the Netflix
See, that's
shows.
I think that's the other thing that I like about it so far. Like it hasn't had to mean anything. Like I don't want to have to sit down and watch a 20-minute YouTube video of some other nerd explain to me why like all these things are connected in some bigger universe. Like I
Right.
just don't like I don't care. Like I I don't need every little thing to be that way, and I don't need 40 TikTok videos of. So I was watching Hawkeye when, and
Right.
then it's
Yeah.
like in the
Oh, hold on.
background there's like Peggy Carter or something,
Right.
and they
Yeah.
do the whole like, it's like Jesus Christ, just pile all those people into a volcano, like,
But see,
give me a
I
break.
like that about it, though. I like the fact that they're all kind of trying to tell this overarching story. Where, like, I watched Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and
Right.
Daredevil, and it's just like none of that shit mattered. I mean, it was good as like
Well,
a standalone thing,
yeah,
but
Punisher is really good.
and
If
I
you've never
didn't
watched
watch the I didn't
Punisher,
watch it.
God, that first season is fucking great.
I watched
Really
the
good.
I watched the scene that everyone talks about, but uh
Yeah, that first season is full of scenes.
mhm.
That it's really really good.
Mm.
There are some like callbacks, and in of the last episode I watched, there was a little reveal at the end of it, um, which but that felt like totally normal. It wasn't like, oh, they're fighting on this rooftop and there's Peter Quill. Oh my God, what are you doing here?
Right.
Or like Rocket or something. I don't know. Like it kind of made more sense, I guess. But yeah, I'm loving it. I can't wait to watch the new one. Um,
It's
and,
it's
and
it's
see
the
see
best
where it goes.
episode. I will say that.
Good, perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
Um yeah, I'm trying to, oh, I've got tickets to see Spider-Man on Friday. So I'm taking half a day,
Mm,
I'm getting my nephew. We've got Spider-Man costumes. I mean, we are decking out.
Bittermans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So or
that'll be
I'm just
cool.
hoping I can keep 3 kids entertained for 2 hours and 30 minutes because that is a long ass movie and that's a lot of
It's a long one.
Spider-Man.
Yep,
And
a lot of Spider-Mans.
if the rumor's true, there will be a lot of Spider-Man, so I guess
Right.
we'll see. But uh man, what else has been going on?
Man, that's all that I've got. Obviously trying to get through Sandman still.
I am enjoying this
You know,
Sandman.
you are okay.
How far are you into it at all?
2 or 3 volumes,
Okay.
or not volumes, stories in.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's it's great. It's really really good. Um I want to talk about it. So get through it. We'll talk
I'll
about
get
it
through it.
in a couple, or I guess in a month from now, but yeah, it's great. Um yeah. Like outside of everything that we've talked about, the only game that I might want to bring up is a game called Fantasian.
Hmm.
So this is on iOS. It
Is that Mickey
is
Mouse?
No, it is what the Final Fantasy guy ended up moving to. So he's released a couple games since, like,
So wait a minute. Hold on a second.
yeah,
So the Final Fantasy guy
right.
has come up with Fantasian.
Yes, now he's working on a game
Boy,
called Fantasian.
boy.
Yeah. And it's a RPG. It's a very well made RPG for the phone. And it's on Apple Arcade. I have Apple Arcade because I've got the subscription thing and I bought that Backbone controller. So I was like, well, this seems perfect. And
Yeah.
really, I think Apple Arcade is a pretty good value if you like playing phone games, or they're doing a lot of stuff right now where there's like um trying to think, like the big tower defense games. They'll have like Tower Defense Plus, Game Dev Story Plus is on there. Uh,
See, that's kind of my problem with the iOS game store
mhm.
is I feel like I feel like I could go back in time 5 years, open up that store, take a screenshot, and then come back in time to now, and 90% of the games that were on there 5 years ago are the games that are showing me on the front page now.
Probably just different
Let's just
versions of them.
let's just do a test run here because I did this the other day because like, man, I haven't played a phone game in a long time. Like, there's got to be some new games out.
Mhm.
Something up. Hearthstone,
How old is that?
first game. I mean, forever old. Y Town watching here plays the shit out of that game.
I did
Subway
play it.
Surfers.
That's on the homepage?
Yep. Geometry Dash Light. It's been on there. Uh, Roblox. Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah, that's old.
Uh,
That's on the
Crossy
homepage.
Road.
Oh
Crossy
God.
Road. Yeah, of I don't have Apple Games Plus, but I am in the game section on the App Store. Crossy Road. Uno. Have you ever played Uno? Wonder if it takes a screenshot like the old Angry Birds 2, Tetris, Super Mario Run, Candy Crush, Doodle Jump, Clash Royale. God. Pokemon Go.
Fuck
Like,
yeah.
what are we doing?
It sounds
Oh,
like
here's Fantasian.
yeah.
Marathon 2 Durandal is on here. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I just every time I come to this thing, I just look through it and go, huh, people still like that Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I
think
don't
there
know.
are a handful of standout games that release every year that will never get the light that an Angry Birds has.
Yeah, it's just not what it's not what it was like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
6 years ago, that shit was hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like people were really into phone
Well, but
games,
they're
you
moving
know.
away from that now. So people like
Right.
Nomura, is building Fantasian, and that's a 20-hour RPG on your phone.
Right.
Most people don't want to do that. But
Well,
there's
I think
people
like the indie, like I think game dev tools have probably gotten better. Like the
Mhm.
ability to release like indie games on Steam and on Xbox has probably gotten a little bit easier,
Mhm.
and not easier. It's still fucking hard,
Oh yeah, right,
but
yeah.
like that's more a priority for them now. Like finding these little games and finding the forgotten cities and and these smaller experiences that may have been on a phone or somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's fun. I will probably continue to play it. And I think that there's a lot of good games on that service. There's a lot that I've missed. Again, kind of like what you were saying. There's not many phone games I've played. I've just kind of tended to go back to the same ones over and over. But there's a lot of like, I'm a big board game person, and there's a lot of board games, good versions of board games that you can download on and learn, and they're dollars. It's not like buying a
Right.
$50 board game. I can get a Catan or Mysterium or something that would cost you 30-40 bucks, and I can get it for $5 on my phone and play it and learn how to play it. And then if I like it enough, maybe I'll go buy the board game and set up, you know, meet and greets and stuff like that to play them. But um, yeah, I'm still watching Arcane. Man, that fucking show is great.
Yeah.
Uh, it's really good. I think I'm 4 episodes into that. I think I'm halfway done. I will try to wrap that up before our next podcast. But I would tell you should watch it. It's really
Okay.
fun. Um,
Okay.
Still reading the same stuff. Yeah, just nothing really new outside of Halo that I've been playing. Just a lot of Inscryption with you, more Guardians. I am taking the last week of the year off. My
Ooh.
goal is to finish Halo and finish Guardians. That is
Okay.
I want to just wrap both those games up. I have a feeling that they would make it in our newsletter, so I just want to I just want to wrap them up before I do
Yeah.
that, because I'm having a hell of a time with both of them. Nitpicking stuff aside, I think they're both fantastic. Um, what else? What else you got?
Nothing, man. Let's talk about these game awards.
Did you watch it?
I tried. I realized they were happening. I loaded up YouTube where they were streaming, and it was some potato ass like
It
480p,
was real
like
bad.
2000 kilobits bit rate
Yeah.
shit. It looked terrible, and I was like, well, I'm definitely not going to watch this because I really didn't care about the awards. I just wanted to see like what the trailers were going to be.
Hmm.
And I like loaded it up like right in the middle of the Hellblade 2 trailer, and I was like, well, God, this looks terrible.
I
Like,
know.
I know this isn't. I know this doesn't look terrible, but it looks terrible.
The trailer
Um,
was fucking crazy, and
crazy.
I think it was my son, I think it is my son. He walked in while that was happening, and I was just like, "Fuck," because I didn't know what was gonna happen, and
Right.
he was just like glued to the screen, just watching this fucking creepy thing, this
Yep.
massive creepy thing, just like crawl through this village, and he was just like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know. You should just go to bed. This is fucked up, dude." Um, yeah, a ton of games were announced actually. We've got the list here, but I don't really know if hell, if you're a horror fan, I bet you were in for a treat because there's a ton of stuff on here for people that
Yeah.
like the horror genre. I mean,
Alan Wake 2.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that Slitterhead or however you say that. Yeah, Alan Wake.
Slitterhead. So that is from the folks who do the Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Halo TV series got announced.
Yep.
Little skeptical that is, Paramount Plus. Hope that it looks good. But The Expanse was on a TV, just like a cable TV, and I thought it looked pretty good. So hopefully it doesn't suffer from that.
Yeah.
Um, Homeworld 3 was announced. I'm trying to look through this list. Have a Nice Death. I actually don't remember that.
Yeah. Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was announced.
Wonder Woman game.
There's a Star Wars Eclipse is being made by
Quantic Dream.
yeah, which a lot of people was
Who?
like, nope, right out of that.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people were very excited to see that
The
trailer, and
trailer
then
looked
found out that
great.
it was a Quantic Dream game. Makers of such games as Heavy Rain,
You know, I
Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit Become Human.
I just
Uh,
I don't I'm not into those games. Um,
I'm really not either, and I hope it's not one of those.
I
But
did finish Heavy Rain, but I just remember I felt like that was a GameFly thing, and I was just like, I just need to get through this. I feel like we covered that on Resume
we
Play.
did. I was just gonna say that it was one of the games we covered at Resume Play. I feel
So,
like you got it early.
oh, did I? Did I get a review copy of it?
I'm pretty sure that you did because I remember talking about it like before it came out.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, I feel like we had like an NDA. We were
I
talking
felt
about it.
like yeah, I was like I had to finish this game, and I know it was either for a review
That's
or
the
it
only
was
way you would have finished it.
yeah. um, you know, there's a game on here. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII Remake is something that I've been talking about, and now it's finally on PC. Everyone went ape shit because it is Epic exclusive for now, which whatever.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
really care. I'll buy it when I need a game to play. Um, then there's another Destiny
So
2
they,
thing.
yeah, Whitetown. They are remaking Knights of the Old Republic. Yeah. So
Y-
the original Knights of the Old Republic game, they are remaking that game,
You know that
like new graphics and new stuff. Yeah.
that original game goes on sale all the time, and I'm always like, I've heard so many good things about this. I should pick this up. But then when they announced
Yeah.
that, I was like, oh, I'll just wait.
Right.
They're gonna do
Yeah.
like
I
the
don't know.
dead.
I don't know when. I don't know when that comes out. I know
Uh,
it was
I
announced this year. Yeah.
I don't think that might be like a couple years away or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It probably is.
They're doing like the Dead
It's a big
Space
game.
thing with it, right? Where they're like
Yes.
remaking it from the ground up, like the Final Fantasy VII or whatever.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep. Full remake. Yep.
so my kids are asking a lot about VR.
Oh boy.
I don't know if it's a thing that gets talked about at school,
Probably.
but they, they have their YouTuber that they watch Minecraft videos. But even I don't think I've seen this guy ever really bring up VR. Like maybe in a video or two, but it's never been to a point to where my kids would talk about it as much as they have. And I know like VR is cool, but I don't like I know that there's like a whole like where do you go? What brand do you go with?
Meta.
Well, like and that's the thing. Like it seems like that's the one that people are gravitating towards, right? Cuz it's cheaper. You don't have
Oculus, yeah.
you don't have to hook it up to a computer, and I'm bringing it up because of Beat Saber.
Yeah.
So I enjoy flipping through TikTok, and there are people on there that will green screen them playing Beat Saber, and I gotta admit, man, that looks fucking cool.
It
Like
does, yeah.
I love rhythm games. I wish I would have kept all my Rock Band stuff because I would love to play that with the family, and I actively look to see, are there kits being sold around me, because if there are,
Right.
I will pick one up for sure. Um, but Beat Saber looks really cool, and yeah, I just think that that would be fun. I don't know, like, what is the age limit of that? Because I know, like, there's like the whole terror of like, oh, this can fuck up your kid's eyes. They're still trying to develop, or with me, like, am I gonna get headaches like really quickly from this? So I don't know.
Right.
I've only
Yeah.
put one on once to look at like a Christmas thing at work, because they were building
Oh,
VR stuff. So they're like, check out what we built, and that was cool. I thought that was interesting, but it was nothing like what I imagine what it would be like. Playing like RE7 through it.
right,
That's
right.
I
Yeah.
want something like that, or like the Skyrim VR mod. I don't know like how well that works, but I want to do something like that. I think that would be really cool. And they're bringing it up enough where it's like, that would be, I might pick one up some point next year. I just want to see like where they're going with it, or what's up and coming. I want to play Alex.
Oh, yeah. Half-Life Alyx. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I need a VR headset for that. So,
Mhm, mhm.
um, yeah, the Sonic is coming out with a game. It's in 3D. There's a new Warhammer. Dune is doing a 4X game. Seems pretty neat.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's kinda wild because wasn't the original Dune was it Dune 2's game? Isn't that the game that, like, created strategy games?
mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an old
Right?
RTS. Yeah,
Yeah, like, that was, like, one of the first games to do that, you know?
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah. I'm sure that like just because they didn't show gameplay, it was just kind of like a trailer reveal.
Right,
And I
right,
think they alluded to like the spice, like where you're trading spices or whatever. So
right, right.
still don't understand that world. Didn't finish the movie. Barely got through the comic. Oh, that'll show back up on HBO at some point. Star Trek Resurgence. Resurgence is, man. If I that's a word that's getting hit a lot lately.
Word. Yep.
Um,
Revengeance.
Arc Raiders. Not sure what that is. Nothing else is really sticking out to me. There wasn't that big thing. There wasn't the
Oh,
Skyrim or the not Skyrim, but yeah, no, the Skyrim I think was revealed there. But
it was. Yep.
oh no, I see your store. It's covering your face.
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
But yeah, there wasn't anything that was like, and we've got one more thing. Felt like it was kind of missing that, but still a lot of good stuff, but nothing that I thought was too crazy. I think It Takes Two taking Game of the Year, taking Family Game of the Year. It was the what was it? The
Best multiplayer
best
game?
multiplayer game of the year. That I don't understand that. Um, Maggie Robertson won for Resident Evil Village. That seemed, pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Best role playing game, Tales of Arise. That's on my list to play, possibly. Guardians of the Galaxy won best narrative. I don't know why Tom's Guide keeps refreshing like that every 30 seconds.
I've been literally watching mine and yours web pages
just
refresh
just
literally
keep
every 20
refreshing.
seconds, and I'm just like,
Is that a
I'm just I can
is that an ad thing where they're like
yeah,
they
it's
get a
an ad
click?
thing.
Those
Yeah, Tom is just over there just
those sons
Scrooge
of
McDucking.
bitches.
Yeah, that's exactly why it's doing it. I wanted you to make your thing bigger so I could see what ads it's serving you.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm actually not seeing any ads.
Yeah,
Let
there's
me.
one in the sidebar to the right that
Oh, look at this.
it keeps refreshing.
It's like blocked out though.
Yeah, I bet it'll pop in when it refreshes again.
Oh,
Oh,
Asus. There we go.
Asus. Yep, mine
Asus.
is Google Store.
Yeah, it's just a Google ad.
Yeah, yeah, it's hilarious. Um,
What's your most anticipated game is Elden Ring. What do you think? Is that yours?
I'm looking forward to that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure you
yeah,
know. I'm sure you know what mine is. I haven't said the name yet, so I'm not gonna
yeah,
say it. I'll go
yeah.
this whole episode without uttering the word. So, all right. Is there anything else? Anything else you want to bring up, talk about tonight before we wrap this up?
No, no.
All righty. Let me flip over here and do the follow us here. Thank you all for joining us tonight, today, or whenever you are watching this, listening. Hey, this was our podcast. This was episode 036. If you want to check out any of our other episodes or upcoming, you can go to bitpunch.tech. You can send us an email at emails@bitpunch.tech. You can follow us on Twitch. We stream not consistently, just random, but
Yeah,
you know,
we're, we're doing all
you
right.
can catch
We
us. Yeah, we hit our numbers, you know. You can
we're
find
streaming
us.
every week. We're streaming every
Yeah,
week. We beat 2 games. I beat a game.
yeah.
We beat Inscryption. It's happening.
You can find us at twitch.tv/bitpunch. You can follow us on YouTube, or sorry, on Twitter at bitpunch. You can check out all of our archives on YouTube at /user/bitpunch. And then our newsletter, you can find that at bitpunch.substack.com. Our upcoming newsletter is going to be all of our blank of the year stuff. So make sure you subscribe and check that out. Again, you can find all of these links on our website at bitpunch.tech. Yo,
Yo,
this is a podcast. This is fun.
it was.
Our next one, I don't think we're going to stream it live. I think we're going to probably record that a little early. We got to get all that together. So yeah, that is going to just be covering some of our favorite shit from the year. And then our newsletter is going to be our favorites of the year. Our favorites from 2021, I might say.
Yep.
So yeah. Keep checking back for that. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching tonight, and we will be back on December 31st
Man,
for the next
kinda
episode
close.
of this. So yeah, we're getting right in there at the end of the year. So but yeah, we will be streaming some stuff upcoming. We just need to talk and figure that out, but we will get there. I'm sure we'll do our grab bag on Sunday.
Yep.
Possibly. Yep. All right. Well, thank you. See you all later. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.